UCO will get senior day underway as soon as the official blows this whistle.
And the wind's not going to play much of a factor today. We don't have much wind, and a lot of times here in the stadium at UCO, we get wind, and you have some problems in the kicking game, but not today.
Yeah, only 6 miles an hour right now. I mean, the flag, and it says that, but the flags are completely limp against the flagpole, so really no wind indicated down there on the field. Even the little flags on the goalpost aren't moving. 71 degrees, just a beautiful day here in Edmond with the sun shining, and Grayson Miller kicks this thing off. Kind of a short, high kick, going to be taken at about the 20-yard line. Kick returner almost falls over, puts a hand on the ground, but gets a good return out to about, there's going to be some flags thrown here. He's going to get it out to about the 47-yard line after receiving it at about the 20, so about a 27-yard return, and looks like the kick returner might be down, trying to get a number across the field there through the binoculars here, but 2 flags thrown. Look like they're probably in the area of a hold or an illegal block of some sort on the kickoff return, so we'll let the officials sort that out, and here Craig Helser is going to tell us what it is.
2 fouls. Holding. Number 46. That penalty fine. Holding. Number 32. 10-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. First down.
That's pretty good, John. You have 2 holds on one play, so that's why you have a little success on the kickoff return team. But they're going to be backed up now.
Yeah, you can't say those Ichabods aren't trying out there, but 2 of them got caught. And when you have 2 holding penalties, you're going to take the one that's more detrimental to your opponent, and that was the second one they called out. So Washburn is going to start here, first down from their own 25-yard line, and they're in a wildcat formation, it looks like, as they have a direct snap to the running back. That's wide receiver DJ Bell in there. So trying to throw the play-by-play guy for a loop on the first play, Chuck. I was expecting to see the quarterback out there, but Washburn snaps it to DJ Bell, the wide receiver. He gets the ball out to about the 32-yard line, so a 7-yard gain on first down.
Yeah, and Van Dyne was in the game on that play, and he's in here also.
Van Dyne in the shotgun, takes the snap and hands off to the left side. Looks like Big Zane Adams closes up the hole for the Broncos, although not before Washburn picked up the yardage that they needed for the first down. That was Percy Mitchell, the running back for the Ichabods. He gets out to the 36. It's going to be a first down for Washburn.
The Broncos are lined up in a 4-man front today. The last couple of weeks they've went to that 4-man front from the 3-man front.
Van Dyne in the shotgun. Mitchell next to him. Wide receiver goes in motion. Handoff to Mitchell, who goes around the right side. Hunter Largent making the tackle kind of out on the edge, out near the numbers on this UCO sideline. They get the ball out to about the 39-yard line, so a 3-yard gain for Washburn there.
Yeah, and Hunter Largent playing in the nose guard position makes a good play laterally going side to side, and that's a good play for the nose guard.
He's a big man, too, at 345 pounds, so moving laterally maybe not the easiest thing, but did a nice job there. Van Dyne in the shotgun again. Fullback goes in motion. Fakes the handoff to Mitchell, drops back, throws it down the field, has a receiver on the UCO sideline, makes the catch. That's DJ Bell, the Wildcat quarterback on the first play of the game, gets it across midfield down to about the 38-yard line. So a big first down for Washburn. They're well into UCO territory.
Yeah, and the Broncos were in a cover 3 look, so they had a deep third player on that side, but he got in between the flat player and the deep player.
Washburn in the gun, receivers bunched up tight to the line of scrimmage. Hand off to Mitchell, right up the middle. Getting some yardage after the first touch there. Jack Puckett, the Bigsby linebacker, finally makes the tackle, but not before Mitchell picks up about 5 yards there on first down. Gets the ball out to the 33-yard line, so Washburn hasn't gone backwards yet, moving the ball efficiently. Van Dyne in the shotgun, same formation, running back to the left. H-back goes in motion, fakes the handoff, throws it in the flat to the fullback, and he is swallowed up there by UCO. That's Keyshawn Murray, defensive back out there on the tackle. A little gain on the play for Washburn. They get the ball out to about the 30-yard line. And so there'll be a big third down here for the Broncos, 3rd and 2, chance to get off the field here for the UCO defense.
Yeah, Murray made a good play. It was a little flat route by the running back that time. And the quarterback, Van Dyne, is a left-handed guy, and they went to the left that time.
Yeah, that's Connor Searcy out of the backfield that was the receiver on that play for Washburn. Washburn kind of bunches up tight near the line of scrimmage, gets the play from Van Dyne. 3rd and 2 here, big play for the Bronco defense. Snap, fake, handoff, and it's knocked down. Van Dyne tries to throw that thing out to the flat on the right side, but Connor Johnson comes through the line of scrimmage, gets his hands up, and knocks that pass out of the sky. Huge play on 3rd down. If you're Washburn, though, maybe you're in 4-down territory here.
Yeah, they're going to go for it here on 4th down. It's 4th and about 3 yards. The ball's on the hash, on the left hash, so good chance to run or pass here, John.
Yeah, and if you're Washburn, what do you have to lose right here? You're 1-8. You're on the road. You've moved the ball pretty well on this first drive, so why not go for this thing? Pretty crazy formation for Washburn as they were, all the receivers and everybody was in the shotgun, but Van Dyne gets up under center, takes the snap, fakes the pitch to the right, to the left, or to the right, runs to the left, and easily picks up the first down. He faked out the defense, and there was nobody around that left side to tackle him. UCO eventually runs him out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, and the defensive end has that play. He should be the contained guy. He just got lost with the handoff, and big play for Washburn.
So good play call by the Ichabods, and that's going to give them new life here at the 25-yard line. Van Dyne in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff to Mitchell, throws it, has a receiver at the 10-yard line, down inside the 10 to about the 8-yard line. That's Maury Sullivan for the Ichabods.
John, the Ichabods have the Broncos off stride a little bit. They're running the game like they want to run it. When we're putting pressure on the quarterback, he's getting it out of his hands, and that time there was no pressure, so that's an easy throw and a catch.
Yeah, can't give him time to stand back there and make that throw, and Van Dyne, the freshman quarterback, makes UCO pay for it, so it's 1st and goal at the 8-yard line for Washburn. Quarterback in the gun, takes the snap, rolls out to his left, throws to his left. It's caught at the 2-yard line, tackled down at the 1-yard line. And that is Tice Brown that makes the catch around the left side for Washburn.
Yeah, they're real close here, John. Look like they're at the half-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal, and as Chuck just told you, the ball is only about half a yard from the goal line. Tie formation, quarterback sneak. Van Dyne easily sneaks it into the end zone over the right side. And Washburn's decision to take the ball first has paid off as they drive and score and strike first here against the UCO Broncos. They're up 6-0.
Broncos are going to have to regroup on the sideline. Coach Lechtenberg will have to get these guys on the sideline and get their emotions back with them. And you know, obviously, we're looking at a 7-0 game, 6-0 right now, but if the extra point is good, 7-0 game. So you don't want to get too frustrated, but you have to be, as a coach and as a player, you got to get things together over there.
And Trenton Brim, the kicker, hits the left upright, but it bounces through. So Washburn makes the PAT. It's 7-0, the visiting team. UCO is going to have to come back, as Chuck just said, and regroup here defensively, and their offense is going to have a chance to take the field here. But we'll be back for the UCO offensive drive here on KOKC. Welcome back to Chad Richardson Stadium. The UCO Broncos trail the Washburn Ichabods after that first drive by Washburn. 7-0 is the score, 9:48 remaining in the first quarter, and UCO is going to have their first chance of the day to go on offense. UCO's kick return team out on the field ready to take possession of the football. And Kobe Stevens is deep. One of the deep guys to receive. Well, it's not Kobe Stevens, it's Terrell Davis. There's a kickoff from Washburn is going to go towards the UCO side and out of bounds way early. That thing really hooked to the right. That is not a good kickoff for Washburn, so UCO is going to get that football at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're a golfer, that was a snap hook. He hit it out of bounds about 10 yards, and the Broncos are going to get great field position here at the 35-yard line, try to get back in this thing.
Quarterback Steph Brown taking the field one last game here for the UCO Broncos at quarterback. UCO, as we said, with the ball at the 35-yard line. Brown in the shotgun, quarterback or running back to the right of him. Carney goes in motion. The fullback Brown's going to take the snap and keep it as a design keep. He's going to try and go around the right side, but he's going to be swallowed up very quickly in the backfield. That is Caden Spencer who made the tackle for the Ichabods, dropping Steph Brown for about a 2-yard loss. UCO is going to have 2nd and 12 at the 33.
Yeah, and they ran a boundary blitz that time that worked for their defense.
Now Dawson Hurl in at quarterback with Trevon Woolfolk behind him in the shotgun. Hurl takes the snap, drops back, throws it to the left, has a receiver at the 40-yard line. Is going to be tackled at about the 43-yard line. That's Madison Ridgway that made the catch for the Broncos, and UCO showing a little different look with the quarterback change there.
Yeah, Ridgway with a good route, the deep out route there, and Hurl makes a good, nice, tight spiral throw.
So Hurl stays in at quarterback, going to be in the shotgun. Carney to his right, the fullback Trevon Woolfolk, the tailback behind him. Carney goes a little hard count, looks to the sidelines. Gets the snap, but it looks like UCO might have started early on the offensive line there.
Yeah, I think it's going to be against the Broncos. It's going to put them back 5 more yards. That's going to make it 3rd and 8, so that changes your play selection as an offensive coordinator. And we'll have to see what the Broncos choose to do here.
Yeah, and that was on Matt Garner, who is listed as a backup, but he is the starting right guard today. Hurl in the shotgun, Woolfolk behind him. Takes the snap, hands off to Woolfolk around the right side, gets across the 35 to the 40, out to about the 43-yard line, where he's finally brought down by Caden Spencer for Washburn. So Woolfolk, a nice hard run, going to give UCO a short 4th down, but it's 4th down.
Yeah, the Broncos are going to bring out the punting team, and they're going to punt the football. I think it would be kind of dicey if they tried to go for it there on 4th down, although the chances would be maybe in your favor to get the 1st down. What you have to look at is the percentages are if you give them the football with that kind of field position, they're going to turn it around and go score.
No question. So Robert Vargas on the punt. Kicks it low but far. Taken at the 10-yard line. Not fair caught. The kick returner, the punt returner kind of stopped for a second, but he was just being patient, looking for his opportunity. Gets the ball out to about the 18-yard line, so Washburn will start at their own 18.
Yeah, good punt there by the Broncos, and they have them backed up here. It looks like at the 17-yard line. Broncos need to come out defensively and have a little spark this time and get a stop here, 3 and out.
And I said a completely wrong name on the punt, and that's obviously my fault. That was Grayson Miller on the punt for UCO, who flips the field for the Bronco defense. And now we'll see if this UCO defense has regrouped a little bit and what their how they'll respond to that first drive. We got a media timeout on the field. I missed it, but we'll just keep it here and kind of talk through it. If you want to email us here in the booth today, you can. UCOradio@gmail.com. We like to give shout-outs when we get opportunities. So shoot us an email. Let us know where you're listening, who you are, who you're rooting for. Tell me I'm doing a good job as a play-by-play guy. Whatever you want to say, we'll take it. We'll give you a shout-out. UCOradio@gmail.com. Chuck, what do what do you need to see out of this UCO defense after that first drive here?
You know, we talked about the starting offensive line for Washburn having all.
To his tailback, who goes across to the left side, across the 20-yard line out to about the 24, but a flag comes in from that Washburn sideline. It's going to be a hold against Washburn. We'll see where they get the hold. This is going to back them up.
I'll tell you, John, I'm impressed with their quarterback, Van Dyne. He is a freshman, and this is his 7th start of the year, and he's really composed right now. He's running the offense. I think he's doing a good job if you just judge it by 2 series that we've seen today.
Yeah, well, and this is the first play that Washburn's gone. Goodness. This is got to turn your ref mic off when you blow that whistle. This is the first play where Washburn has gone backwards on offense. They did have the penalty on the kickoff return, but Washburn now starting first down and 20 at the 10-yard line, first and about 18 at the 10-yard line. Snap to Van Dyne, the shotgun, throws it to the right, has a receiver at the 10-yard line, but has got nowhere to go. UCO does a great job bottling him up. That's J.K. Moore on the tackle for the Broncos. DJ Bell was the wide receiver, and he actually gets dropped for about a half-yard loss.
And we talked about it early where UCO went to a 4-man front. They were in a 3-man front that time, and when you play the 3-man front, you're looking for pass coverage. So they rushed 3 and they dropped 8. That time against the offensive coordinator, against defensive coordinator wins.
Van Dyne in the gun, tailback behind him. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, and throws to the left. Has a receiver wide open in the middle, across the 40 to the 45, 50, across UCO territory to the 45 and down to the 41-yard line. Just a nightmare of a play for that UCO defense. That's Tice Brown on the reception there. And that's going to be about, quick math, 49 yards on the play, so easily the biggest offensive play of the day for either team, and Washburn's in UCO territory.
Just a climbing route by Brown that time. He came from the left side, and he's climbing to the right. He was wide open.
Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff to the left, but dropping back to throw, throws it down the field. Good coverage there by UCO. No flag. Well, there is a flag.
Yeah.
Didn't see it back at about the 16-yard line, so this will probably be against the Broncos in the form of a hold or a pass interference on Keyshawn Murray. Thought he was really in pretty good coverage there, but.
Yeah, and what I'll say, this is coach speak here, John, but you have a back judge who's the referee that's the furthest back. You have a line judge. The back judge thought it was a good play. That's his call. The line judge, who doesn't have as good a view, he made the call there. So I don't like that as a former coach, and I think we did have good coverage there in the secondary.
So a big penalty for the Broncos moves the ball down to the UCO 32-yard line and gives Washburn an automatic first down. Van Dyne in the shotgun. Percy Mitchell, the running back. 2 wide receivers to the left. Hands off to Mitchell around the right side, but he's going nowhere fast. Jack Puckett came blitzing through the line of scrimmage and makes the play at the line of scrimmage. They're actually going to give him about a half-yard gain, but Jack Puckett, really nice play there for the young linebacker.
Yeah, Puckett with the play. He just ran a scraping blitz there where he came off the butt of the tackle and made a good play.
Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap, fakes the handoff, rolls to the left, finds his fullback around the left, but 2 UCO defenders, Reed Lindsay as well as Connor Johnson, make the hit on the running back. That's Connor Searcy that was the intended receiver, and he does not catch the football.
Van Dyne runs a boot play there, so that means the quarterback fakes the handoff one way and then rolls the other way. The time they did that the first time, the first series, they had success with it, and they were looking for it again. It was covered by the Broncos, then he tried to throw it back inside, and that's where you get the pass breakup.
So a big third down here for this UCO defense. 3rd and about 9 for Washburn, who lines up in the shotgun with 2 receivers to the left. Van Dyne's going to not hand the ball off. He's under a little bit of pressure, and he's going to be sacked. The UCO defense comes through. The pocket breaks down, and the sack is that's Wesley Hudson, the freshman defensive tackle out of Dallas, Texas, 6'3", 260, takes Van Dyne down for the loss. So that's going to make it 4th and about 14 So Washburn is going to have a decision to make here. Would be a long field goal. Looks like they're going to line up and go for this.
Yeah, they're going to go with it here, and if it is 14 yards for a first down, that'll get them to the 18-yard line if they can get there.
So Van Dyne with 5 wide receivers, empty backfield in the shotgun. Takes the snap, throws over the middle, and it's dropped by Tice Brown. Just a little slant route in the middle of the field, and he just dropped it. Wasn't under any pressure. Not sure he would have gotten the first down, but it doesn't really matter. He doesn't get the first down. UCO is going to take over.
Yeah, the ball's thrown behind him slightly, but a good receiver like he is, and he made a couple of good plays already. But a play like that he should make all day. The ball was thrown behind him slightly, but he's got to make that play, and I think if he makes the play there, he gets the first down.
So UCO's offense is going to take over, and we see Dawson Hurl again at quarterback. So we saw Steph Brown first play of the game. Haven't seen him since. Dawson Hurl in the shotgun with Trevon Woolfolk to his left, and now there's a flag thrown, and it's going to be a false start against the Broncos. That's how they're going to start this drive, put themselves in a 5-yard hole, and it's going to be 1st and 15.
And there's no excuse for that, John. It was a check with me play, which means they're going to go to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback's going to bark a signal, and they look to the sideline. When we look to the sideline, we jump off and cause it ourselves.
So Hurl in the shotgun with 4 wide receivers and Woolfolk to his left. Takes a snap, throws it over the middle, has a receiver. That's Terrell Davis that catches the ball at about the 40, gets it out to about the 43-yard line before being brought down. So UCO has a big play and gets that first down.
Impressive throw and catch. Hurl with a good throw.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Hurl in the shotgun, Woolfolk behind him. Tight end goes in motion. Hands off to Woolfolk around the left side, who does a little stutter step, but closes down pretty quick with 3 Washburn defenders making the play at about the 46-yard line. So they're going to give him 3 yards on the gain there.
Yeah, and Washburn that time defensively does a good job against the run game against the Broncos. And the Broncos, Hurl turns and he's handing it deep to Woolfolk in the backfield, so he's got a long ways to go.
Woolfolk has done a good job of, once he gets going, of being hard to bring down this year. Gets tackled there after a 3-yard gain. 3 wide receivers to the right. I formation. Hurl under center. Hands off to Woolfolk around the right, and he does have a hole right there. Gets across the 50-yard line to about the 49, so into Washburn territory, and a first down for the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos go trips to the right, and they had a tight end to the left, and it was old school football where they have a fullback and a tailback that you don't see a lot, and it was just old school football, and Coach Dorrell chose to run the football there, did a good job.
So now one wide receiver on each side, and 2 running backs in the backfield. Fakes the handoff to Woolfolk. Hurl rolls out to the right, throws it. Has Darius Melton on the sideline to the 20, 15, down to about the 10 before being pushed out of bounds. A huge play for the Broncos. We'll see where they spot this. It looks like it's going to be about the 12-yard line where he stepped out. But Darius Melton with the big catch and the big first down for UCO.
Yeah, and I like the way that Hurl's playing right now. He's throwing the ball. He's throwing a very tight spiral, which is very easy to catch. And those also work on windy days. We talked about we don't have the wind here, but the tight spiral is helping the receivers catch the football.
So we go back to that I formation. No tight end. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hurl under center. Now he steps out and looks back at the sideline for some direction. Takes a snap and hands off to the running back to the left side. The hole does not open up, though, this time. That's Jalen Cottrell in at running back for the Broncos on first down. He's going to pick up maybe a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 9 at the 11-yard line.
Yeah, the red zone's a tough place to run the football because your spaces are so much smaller down there.
They're going with that same. Now they're going back to the shotgun now with Cottrell, the running back. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Hurl takes a snap and hands off to Cottrell. Goes off tackle to the right side, gets across the 10, down to about the 5-yard line before being pushed out of bounds by the Washburn defender. I believe that was Braylon Alexander on the tackle for the Ichabod. So UCO is going to have 3rd and about 3 at the 5-yard line.
Yeah, and you have to wonder right here, what do the Broncos like, on a 3rd and 3 when you're in the red zone? Do you like to run or pass? Formation sometimes will tell that. They're in a running formation right here.
Yep, I formation, hurl under center. Takes the snap and hands off to Woolfolk around the left side, and he's going nowhere. That thing closed up quickly. 3 Washburn defenders at the line of scrimmage, and actually a little behind it. They're going to drop him for a loss. It's going to be 4th and 4, 4th and 5. So this is going to be a field goal attempt for the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos were stuffed right there, and Washburn did a good job defensively. When they know that it's run, they did a good job. And Broncos, maybe a play action when you get in that situation again would sure help.
So Nicky Quevedo on for the field goal, which will be about 24 yards. Here's the snap. The kick is up. It looks good as it goes towards the Sports Performance Center deck, and it is good. So the Broncos get on the board. They trail Washburn 7-3 after the Nicky Quevedo field goal. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC.
Miller tees it up to kick it away from the Broncos. DJ Bell. Back to receive. Into the end zone for the touchback from the 25. 1st and 10. Washburn.
And the Grayson Miller kickoff goes into the end zone for UCO, so Washburn will have a touchback. They will get the ball at the 25-yard line to start the drive. UCO trails the Ichabod 7-3, 17 seconds left in the first quarter. And this UCO defense will take the field and try to bury Washburn, not let them get across. They've gotten into UCO territory both drives today. Luckily, the second drive stalled out with no points, but Washburn has moved the football today. Van Dyne in the shotgun, takes the snap and hands off. Going across the center is a new running back in there for Washburn. We'll have to. Well, that's DJ Bell, the wide receiver that they handed off to. So he gets the ball out to about the 30-yard line. So a 5-yard gain there on first. Show podcast. He's watching it at home. Usually here today, but had some issues that he couldn't get to the stadium. So, Jonathan, we miss you today here in the press box, but we're glad we're able to bring you the action. And he says congrats to all the seniors. Honor and pleasure to cover them. Hope they end with a win. We do too. And now Washburn is going to do their best to try to prevent that offensively as Van Dyne's in the shotgun here on 2nd and 5. Hands off to DJ Bell to the right side. He gets to about the 31-yard line. So it's going to be about a 1-yard gain on the play. Good job by the Bronco defense kind of stringing him out.
Yeah, there's what we talked about. It's 3rd and 4 now, so the options are wide on what they can do here, run or pass.
So a big 3rd down here where Washburn is actually in their own territory. So this is where you want to make the big stop, right? You want Washburn to punt the football so that you have good field position. You can't let them get into UCO territory. Got to stop them right here and get off the field if you're UCO's defense. Van Dyne in the shotgun. Receiver goes in motion left to right. Has DJ Bell to his right. Is going to throw it. Throws it over the middle, and he has his receiver across the first down marker to the 40-yard line. That's Ty Weber, the tight end for Washburn. 6'3", 225-pound freshman makes the catch in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and he just did a choice route in there, John, which means he ran out there and ran a curl route, and he has the option to go left or right depending on where the defender is. He went away from the defender. Quarterback read it. Good throw, good catch.
So a fresh set of downs for the Ichabods, who are in the shotgun, but now whistles on the field, and it looks like UCO might be taking. Oh, Adam Dorrell has thrown the challenge flag on the catch. So obviously just trying to see if the ball maybe hit the ground. We don't really have the angle on it here because his back was between us and the ball. So if you're not familiar, in the MIAA, we're the only Division II conference that has instant replay. And so each coach has a red challenge flag like the NFL, and they can throw that flag and challenge it. And so the officials have a tent where they go and they look at an iPad, and they have 2 or 3. It might be 3 cameras. Is it, you know?
It's 3 cameras.
So they got 3 cameras here in the stadium, and it's not the same angle that's like up on the Jumbotron, right? It's different cameras that are specifically for the replay. So we don't have visibility to what they're looking at. We can't tell you, like, okay, we're watching it on the monitor and it looks like a catch. We don't know. So we'll see what the officials have to say.
And one thing I will say, if Coach Doral threw the flag on this, the play happened in the middle of the field, and it's on the 40-yard line, so it's right where he is. He had a good view of it. So I'm going to say that it gets reversed here just because of that. I don't think he's going to throw a red flag this early in the game to chance that unless he saw something himself.
The only caveat to that, Chuck, is did the camera pick it up, right? And that's what the officials have to go off of, is what they see on the camera. So did one of the 3 cameras have an angle on it that showed what Coach Doral saw?
Yeah, exactly right. And the cameras are placed. We help them set up before the game. They have a tent over there, and they have iPads and things like that. But they're over there watching the video, and they have access to running it back, running it forward, slow-mo. They get a good look. If they have that camera angle, just like you said, they'll have a chance to see it.
Vivian Schreiber emails us here in the booth and has some nice things to say about the commentary, but also is a grandmother of one of the band members here at UCO out of Fort Worth, Texas. And so Vivian is watching the stream and listening in. And Vivian, we're glad you took the time to email us, and we hope that you can hear the band coming through the crowd mic, and we hope that you can enjoy a good UCO win today. But a lot to be determined here with 13 minutes and 44 seconds left in the second quarter. The officials are going to come out and tell us what they saw here.
After review of the field stands, UCO is out of challenges and charged timeout.
So the important verbiage there is that it stands, not that it was confirmed. So what that typically means is we couldn't really tell. We didn't have enough video evidence to confirm it, but we didn't have enough video evidence to overturn it either.
Exactly right. And you know, sometimes you wonder about the timeouts and things this early in the game, if you're going to need that later. I think it's a good time to challenge, even though he lost the challenge.
So Washburn has first down at their own 39-yard line. Empty backfield in the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 1 left. Van Dyne drops back under a little bit of pressure. Heaves it down the field. DJ Bell is down there, and he is being jostled a little bit by J.K. Moore. And the officials agreed with that assessment as they throw the pass interference flag. So that jump ball is going to be a big gain for Washburn.
Yeah, and J.K. Moore was in good position, had a safety over the top, and he's running down the sideline with the receiver. So he's in good position. He just got too handsy, John. He got too many hands on him. And when the official is right there, the ball's in the air, he's not watching the ball necessarily. He's watching the 2 players, and he had good reason for throwing the flag.
Yeah, pretty physical interaction there, and definitely agree with the assessment there that it was a penalty. So it's going to move the ball into UCO territory. So that's 3 out of 3 drives that Washburn has gotten across midfield. This time they're at the 46-yard line, and they'll have first down. Van Dyne is in the gun, has DJ Bell to his right, 2 wide receivers to his right, takes the snap, hands off to Bell, who's going left, and he is stood up in the backfield. Grant Lohr is the initial Bronco that comes in and makes the hit, a pretty big hit, and then a few more Broncos come in and assist with the tackle. It's going to be a 1-yard loss there on the play for Washburn as we have a UCO player down the field. That looks like J.K. Moore.
Yeah, Lord did a really good job. He slipped under the block and came underneath, so he's a free hitter at that point, and wrapped up, made a good play on the running back.
So they're working on J.K. Moore's left leg. Looks like it might just be a cramp. They're doing the kind of stretch where they push your toes back towards your upper body, so maybe just a cramp. We'll hope that it's nothing serious there for Moore as they help him up and he jogs off the field.
Yeah, I think he's going to be okay.
Want to say hey to Monique Sowell, who's listening in Rockwall, Texas. Monique has emailed us pretty consistently this year, and we're glad that we're able to bring you the action every week. Big fan of Marcus Sowell, obviously, defensive lineman for the Broncos. And Monique emailed us here at ucoradio@gmail.com. We want to hear from you as well. Second down and 11 for Washburn. Van Dyne is in the shotgun, 2 receivers to the right. DJ Bell in the backfield with him. Takes the snap and hands off to Bell, who wants to go left but cuts back right as the hole closes up. Zane Adams and a host of other Broncos there to meet him on that side of the line of scrimmage. Bell gets a decent gain out of the play, about 4 yards, 4.5 yards or so. So it's going to be third down and about 7 or 8. 3rd and 6 on the scoreboard. I see 3rd and 7 with my math. So tight formation with the receivers bunched up to the offensive line. Van Dyne in the shotgun, looking at the wide receiver across the middle who makes the catch, but nowhere to go as UCO defender Connor Johnson is there to make the play for the Broncos. The ball was basically caught at the line of scrimmage. So really no gain on the play, and it's going to bring up 4th down and 7. And it looks like Washburn is going to punt for the first time today.
Yeah, and Connor Johnson, number 21 for the Broncos, what a play that was. It was open field tackle, and he has to tackle high and grab jersey and cloth and get the guy down, and he did that. Good play.
So the ball is snapped for the punt, and it is a high, short kick. Fair catch is called for and made by Kobe Stevens at about the 15-yard line. So Washburn flips the field a little bit. Probably doesn't bury him as deep as they'd like, and we're going to have a timeout on the field. UCO trails Washburn 7-3, 11:52 left in the first half. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Half, UCO has just received a punt from Washburn, and they will start with 1st and 10 on their own 15-yard line, trying to put the ball in the end zone for the first time today. Going to have to put a drive together in order to do it. Dawson Hurl has played every snap except the first at quarterback. He has Jalen Cottrell behind him in the shotgun. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right here on 1st down. And the official gets out of the way, and we are ready for the snap. Hurl takes the snap, and it looked like kind of a busted fake handoff. He then throws it to Jalen Cottrell, who finds an opening around the right side. Gets to the 40, to the 50, 40, 30. Down the sideline to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Broncos. Jalen Cottrell on what looked like a busted play after a very awkward fake handoff takes the reception. It was only about a 4 or 5 yard pass out of the backfield, and there is no defender down the UCO sideline to stop him, and UCO gets that ball in the end zone very quickly.
Very impressive run by Cottrell. He outran the defenders to the end zone and went a long ways. The Broncos had a 3-by-1 set. By that I mean they had 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right, and they play fake, and then they run the screen to the backside to the running back, and he gets in the secondary and he's gone.
Nicky Cavedo on for the PAT. Try and make this a 3-point lead for the Broncos, and he kicks that thing right through. Would have gone in the waterfall in the south end zone if not for the net. And UCO leads 10-7. The scoreboard is, there we go. 10-7. And the UCO flag being run across the field as the hometown fans celebrate. 11:37 left here in the first half. Broncos lead 10-7. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Play scoring drive.
Yeah, I tell you what, and I was so impressed with Cottrell as he got the ball in the flat out there. He just took off and outran people, and he outran a couple of angles from the secondary players, and he got in the end zone. Big play for the Broncos after falling down 7-0. Now they take a lead at 10-7.
A little bit of regrouping out of UCO, and we said in the pregame that you don't want to play from behind, and Washburn came out on their first drive and put us right in that spot, but the Broncos have responded well. It's a long game, though. Grayson Miller is set to kick off. 2 deep men back for Washburn. Grayson Miller checks with both sides of his kickoff coverage team and puts the boot to it. Kind of a high, shorter kickoff going to be taken at about the 14-yard line. And then a fake reverse on the kickoff as the ball carrier takes it to the far sideline. Gets the ball out to about the 29-yard line. That was Percy Mitchell, the running back, that received that kick and then and then wasn't a really, super fake out reverse, right? They weren't even really close enough to each other to hand the ball off, but the defense did kind of go with them a little bit there, and it opened up a little space.
Yeah, and that's why coaches run that. They don't hand the ball off 90% of the time because the exchange is so difficult, and you can fumble the football at that time. But good job by the Broncos recovery.
So 1st and 10, Washburn at the 29. Van Dyne in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands off to DJ Bell, who's going to go off tackle around the left side. Not going to get a huge gain out of the play as the Broncos string him out a little bit and make the stop. About a 3-yard gain there, so it's going to be about 2nd and 7 for Washburn.
Yeah, the Broncos that time were in their 4-man front defense, which means they're playing a 4-3, and they're thinking run if they're in that formation defensively.
So 2nd and 7 here from the 32-yard line, we'll call it. Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap and drops back, throws it over the middle. Nice coverage by J.K. Moore there for the Broncos as that ball hits the hands of the wide receiver but falls to the turf as J.K. Moore comes in and puts a hit on him.
And the Broncos brought pressure that time, so they brought 6, and they left 5 to cover their 5 receivers. So a good job by the Broncos defensively.
And now yet another 3rd down opportunity for the Broncos in their territory where they can make Washburn punt the football, from deeper. And so this is a big play for this UCO defense.
You got to think the momentum would change here if you can get a 3rd down stop.
3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Connor Searcy, a fullback, as Van Dyne takes the short shotgun snap, throws it out to the right to Tice Brown at the Washburn sideline, but he's going nowhere. Oh, no, wait, he's got the 1st down. I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong stick. Tice Brown is going to get just past the stick and pick up the 1st down. My apologies.
Yeah, and Jonathan Mosley for the Broncos made the play out there. He just gave too much cushion to the receiver. You have to know where the sticks are because offensively they're going to try to throw the football to the sticks.
Yeah, that's where they're going, and that's exactly what they did. So 1st down for Washburn, still in their own territory at about the 41-yard line. 2 wide receivers stacked on each side. Van Dyne in the shotgun. DJ Bell in the backfield takes the handoff, goes left in between the guard and tackle on the left side. He's brought down by Lamb Gordon for the Broncos, but not before picking up about 5 yards.
Yeah, he picks up 5 or 6 yards here, brings up 2nd and 5, which, as we said, John, tough situation defensively.
Yeah, Washburn can get a little creative here with their play calling. They've got tight end right, 2 wide receivers left. Van Dyne takes the snap, rolls out to his left. He's going to run it, and he's going to slide at about the 50-yard line, and we're going to have a penalty on the Broncos. This could be a targeting penalty as well. We'll see how serious it is, but as Van Dyne went into that slide, one of the Broncos came in and put a hit on him. That's such a tough play for a defender because it's hard to stop your momentum if you're going for the tackle, but 2 flags thrown, and this is not going to be good for the Broncos.
And the key is the quarterback went into his slide. Van Dyne goes to slide, and the Broncos come. And if you hit him above the waist, anywhere above the waist, it's a penalty, and that's what we did. It wasn't a vicious hit. He didn't try to take his head off. It wasn't helmet to helmet. He just hit him high. And as soon as I say that, John, then they call the targeting. I don't agree with that.
So it's Grant Lohr that is the guilty party, allegedly, for the Broncos. It is nice that we do have replay capability here in the MIAA because, Chuck, in prior to last season when we implemented replay, if you were called for targeting, you were out.
Right.
And they would review it at halftime. And if it was wrong, they would let you back in. Or if it was in the second half, they would review it after the game. And if it was incorrect, you'd be fine to play the next game. But you still had to sit out until they could review it. Now they can go right to that iPad, that replay tent, and review the camera angles. And they don't want to kick players out of the game. That's not what they want to do. So they're going to look at it objectively. And it's going to be a personal foul penalty regardless. But if they decide that it's not targeting, then Grant Lohr will be able to remain in the ball game.
Yeah, that's what happens. You lose a key player to your defense in the first half of the football game, and And I'm sitting here, and I'm a long ways away like you are, John, but I just didn't see the vicious hit. He did hit above the waist, which you can't do, which that is a penalty. I didn't see the helmet-to-helmet, if it was helmet-to-helmet, and they're getting the reviews and replays. If it's there, he's going to be out of the game. Yeah,
I'm with you. I kind of thought it was borderline even a penalty, and then to call the targeting as well. So let's look around the MIAA at some of the other games going on. Nebraska Kearney has a big lead on Lincoln, 38-6 in the fourth quarter. This one surprisingly tight, Chuck. Central Missouri leads Fort Hays State 30-28. That game in the third quarter. I say surprisingly. Central Missouri is 8-1. Fort Hays is 7-2. So Fort Hays is not chopped liver. I mean, they put it on us pretty good last week, but Central Missouri has been able to score at will this year, and they're in a 3-point ball game. The officials are going to tell us the results of their review here. So it is a penalty, but Grant Lohr breathes a sigh of relief as he gets to stay in the ball game for the Broncos, and it doesn't work out to an ejection.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing for everybody involved, John. We don't want to see players taken out of the game unless there was intent and it was flagrant.
Yep. Emporia State leads Missouri Southern 42-14 in the third, and Missouri Western and Pitt State tied at 17 in the third quarter. Pitt State undefeated, so that's a big one. We'll keep an eye on it. So 1st and 10 for Washburn from the 37-yard line. Van Dyne in the shotgun as Tice Brown goes in motion. Van Dyne drops back, has plenty of time to throw it, heaves it down the field to the end zone, but he's going to overthrow his wide receiver by about 3 or 4 yards. So no real threat there. Good. The wide receiver had a step on the Broncos, but the ball was not put where he could catch it.
Yeah, and Washburn had 3 receivers to the home sideline here to the left, and one receiver runs the wheel route, which means he runs down the sideline. The inside receiver runs the post route, and that's who came open, and that's who Van Dyne was trying to get the football to.
Yeah, that was Tylen Crochet, not on the 2 deep for Washburn, but has been out on the field today for a number of plays. So 2nd and 10 now as Van Dyne takes the snap, throws it over the middle, has a receiver across the middle to the 15. It's going to be tackled at about the 13-yard line. Big gain for Washburn there on the play as Van Dyne connects with Chase Allen Jackman, 6'3", 185 freshman out of Fayette, Missouri. And the Ichabods are in serious scoring position now.
Yeah, the Ichabods went empty where there's no running back in the backfield, and the Broncos were playing coverage, but they ran all crossing routes, and you get a crosser that came open, and he gets the ball to them.
So a 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line for Washburn, so they can get a first down before scoring. We're going to go 2 wide receivers to the left. Handoff to the running back who's going to try and string this thing to the sideline, but he's going nowhere. Looked like a possible horse collar tackle from our angle, but no flag thrown as DJ Bell took the handoff on that play and actually loses about 2 yards for the Ichabods.
Yeah, and Connor Johnson, number 21 for the Broncos, ran him down when you're going sideline to sideline, and you're that running back. You have to have better speed than the DB, and the DB wins the race that time.
So 2nd and 12 now for the Ichabods, who get in a tight formation with the receivers close to the offensive line. Van Dyne, it takes the shotgun snap, throws it around to the right side as a receiver open in the front corner of the end zone, but Tice Brown is just overthrown by Van Dyne, and the ball falls to the turf, brings up a big 3rd and 12.
Yeah, good coverage by the Broncos. They had a high and a low, so they have one guy underneath the receiver, one on top. It takes a perfect throw, and the way Van Dyne's throwing the football, I thought he could make that throw, and it was just a little bit long.
Fortunately for the bronze and blue, it was a little bit long. 2 overthrows here inside the red zone for Van Dyne, and now he has a 3rd and 12 opportunity here. Same formation as the last play. Van Dyne has DJ Bell to his right, takes the snap, throws it, same place to that front corner. It looked like the same exact play, different wide receiver. This one goes off the fingertips, but was still, I would say, a little bit coming in a little bit hot and overthrown, Chuck.
Yeah, you hit it on the nose. It was the same route by the receiver, which is a corner route or a flag route that we used to call it, but a corner route, and it just takes a great throw and a great catch.
So Trenton Brim will come on to attempt the 31-yard field goal for Washburn and get this game knotted back up at 10. There's the snap, good hold. Grimm gets the kick up, and it looked like it was wide right. It looked a little far, Chuck, but it's hard to tell from our angle. The officials confirm wide right, so a big defensive stand for the UCO Broncos.
Yeah, a huge stand for the Broncos. Gives them a little bit of momentum here with 8:31 left in the second quarter. And the Broncos up 3 points, and I feel like it's been a pretty even game so far, offensively and defensively for both teams. So a lot more to come here.
The last time this UCO offense was on the field, they weren't on the field very long. An 85-yard touchdown strike to Jalen Cottrell. And interestingly enough, Steph Brown back in the game for the Broncos at quarterback with 3 wide receivers to the left and 1 to the right. Takes the snap and does a little pitch to Terrell Davis, who comes sweeping across from the left side wide receiver position. Not a big gain on the play for the Broncos, maybe about 3 yards. And so it's going to bring up 2nd and 7 from the 23.
And, John, no inside information here or anything, but I think with Steph Brown in the football game here, the Broncos are going to try to run the football. As soon as I say that, then Hurl's back in the game here.
Yep, so Dawson Hurl back out there being flanked by Jalen Cottrell and Andrew Carney in the shotgun. 1 receiver left, 2 right, takes the snap. He's going to throw it, drops back, throws it over the right side to Cottrell, but puts it just a little bit high at the sticks on the UCO sideline, and Cottrell's unable to come down with it.
Yeah, he's trying to get Cottrell out of the backfield. He ran a little arrow route, which means he's going to go down the field and go outside, just a little wide right.
Say hi to Jennifer Wilson real quick, who emailed us from Kansas City. Says shout out to my son, Johnny Wilson. Johnny, of course, of Broncos. We're glad she emailed us, ucoradio@gmail.com. Hurl's in the shotgun. He has Jalen Cottrell to his left, 2 receivers on each side. He's going to throw it, drops back, looks down the field, throws it over the middle, and hits Terrell Davis, looked like in the thigh pad. Terrell Davis unable to catch that thing. He's very frustrated with himself because he feels like he should have brought that in, and it would have been a first down for the Broncos, but now Grayson Miller's going to come on to punt.
Yeah, the Ichabods did a really good job of coverage there. He had 2 to 3 guys on him in the middle of the field. It was going to take a special throw and catch there for the first down.
So Grayson Miller standing at his own 9-yard line here for the Broncos. Return man at the opposite 40 for Washburn. Miller puts this thing in the sky. Kind of a low, wobbly kick's going to hit about the 39-yard line and take a good UCO bounce. The kick returner tries to field it. That's DJ Bell, and he bobbles it. It hits the turf, but he hops right on the ball, and the Broncos are unable to corral it. Could have been a big break for UCO.
Yeah, DJ Bell, he did that earlier, John, where he picked it up after it bounces one time. Coaching special teams like I did for quite a while, that's a nightmare thing to do. You don't want to do that. When the ball hits the ground, get away from it. You've already given up some yardage on the bounces forward and everything on the turf. Get out of the way because too many bad things can happen when you try to pick it up on that first bounce.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks to film sessions when you would have been coaching the punt return team, and I can imagine some of the constructive criticism that would have been coming from something like that. Of course, for a while during my career here, you had Johnny Jones returning those punts, and you didn't have to tell Johnny a whole lot.
No, we let him do what he wanted to do.
Van Dyne in the shotgun, hands off to Bell on the right side. He's going to be bottled up in the backfield by Jack Puckett. Going to be a couple-yard loss for Washburn as the Bigsby linebacker comes through and makes the stop at about the, we'll call it the 31-yard line. Well, now they're going to step back to the 30, so it's a 2-yard loss for Washburn there. Nice play by Puckett.
Oh, great play by Puckett. He's scraping at linebacker. He's either reading it really quickly, John, or it's a call play for him.
So 2nd and 12 now for Washburn. Van Dyne in the gun has Bell to his left. 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. It looks like he's going to throw it. Throws that thing over the middle of the field, and a nice job by Connor Johnson, who comes in and gets one hand on the football in front of the intended receiver, which was the tight end, Ty Weber, and knocks that thing to the turf.
Connor Johnson is a name we're calling a lot today, John. He's had a very good first half here. If he can keep playing like this, he can have a good game.
And so a 3rd and 12 for the Broncos, and I feel like I jinx them every time, Chuck, but Washburn has gotten into UCO territory every offensive drive today, and they converted a 3rd down on the last drive to get across. So this is a good chance for the Broncos to make them punt from their own territory. Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap. He's going to be sacked. Zane Adams comes in. I didn't see Zane Adams, and Van Dyne certainly didn't see him. He puts a hit on the backside of the quarterback, drops him for a big loss back at the 23-yard line. So Washburn, for the first time, is going to have to punt, and they're backed by the temporary soccer lines on the field, which is a good thing if you are the UCO defense. That's deep in your own territory.
Yeah, good play there by the Broncos, and they're getting their feet under them right now defensively. They're getting some stops, and you can tell that here late in the first half.
The punter's going to kick this thing, and it's blocked! It's blocked by Connor Johnson. And the Broncos recover it, or Washburn recovers it at the 16-yard line, but it's going to be UCO's football.
And was that Connor Johnson?
Connor Johnson again.
I said he was having a good half. He's having a great half now. And you know, the punter picks the ball up. What some people don't understand, he could pick it up and advance it for a first down. So the Broncos had enough defenders there to get him down. And Broncos start here with great field position.
Absolutely. The first time Washburn has to punt from their own territory today, the Broncos bring the block and get it. Connor Johnson with a great job. He's a big, long defender for the Broncos at 6'3". Dawson Hurl's going to start in the shotgun here as the Broncos have first down at the 16-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. They're going to hand this ball off to Cottrell around the left side. He's going to get to the Washburn sideline and get out of bounds. Looked like he crossed the 10-yard line, but now the official's going to spot it back at the 11. Stepped out at the 11, so a 5-yard gain for the Broncos on first down.
Yeah, good play by the Broncos. Good gain on first down like we've been talking about. They're at 2nd and 5 now. A team that blocks a punt, John, wins 96% of the games that they play when you have a punt block. So hopefully we can get that to work here today.
Definitely an opportunity for the Broncos here with 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Hurl's in the shotgun. Trevon Woolfolk standing a few yards behind him. Going to be a passing play. Woolfolk blocking for Hurl. The pocket breaks down, and Hurl gets a little panicky there, rightfully so, as he was under a lot of pressure. Tries to throw it to Darius Melton in the end zone, but short hops it.
Yeah, and Hurl's played enough this year, and he played at Missouri Southern a year ago. He's had enough experience. He should know right there, you pull it down and take off, and you go forward. And he didn't do that time. He had wide open spaces there, probably almost to the goal line. He could have got more there. He tried to make the big play.
So now 3rd and 5 for the Broncos, who can pick up a first down here. They don't have to get into the end zone. Hurl in the gun, Cottrell to his right, 3 wide receivers to the right. Going to throw. Hurl throws it over the middle, hits Terrell Davis at the 3-yard line, and he walks into the end zone. Davis with an easy catch, easy throw from Dawson Hurl, no coverage out of the Ichabods there, and the Broncos make Washburn pay with the big special teams punt block, and it turns into 7 points for UCO, 6 points.
Yeah, a good play there, throwing the football, and he's wide open. He came underneath. They caught Washburn in man-to-man defense, and when you go across the field, it's hard for that defender to stay with his man, and that's why he was so wide open.
So Nicky Quevedo is going to try and make this a 10-point ball game here on the PAT. Snap is in, hold is down, kick is up, and it looks good, and it is good. So the Broncos take a 17-7 lead off a Dawson Hurl to Terrell Davis touchdown pass over the Washburn Ichabods. 5:26 left here in the first half. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Connor Johnson turned into an 11-yard touchdown pass for the UCO Broncos from Dawson Hurl to Terrell Davis. Here's the kickoff from the Broncos, a short kick to the sideline that's going to be received at the 20-yard line by Washburn, returned out to about the 35 before the Broncos make a play on special teams and bring down the ball carrier. So Washburn will have first down at the 35-yard line.
Good field position for Washburn here in this series. Broncos did a good job on the kickoff team. The kick wasn't a great kick. It's kind of a deep pooch, but part of being a good kickoff team player is you got to want to go down and make the tackle. And we had a lot of guys that wanted to make a tackle that time, John.
Yeah, a lot of those guys, that's their opportunity to get in the game on those special teams, and so they have to go out there and make the best of it. And then when you mix in some regular defensive starters on that unit, that's typically a pretty good recipe for success. Van Dyne is in the shotgun, takes the snap. He's going to fake the handoff to Bell under a lot of pressure and just throws that thing away. Noah West was bearing down on Van Dyne in the backfield for the sack, so he just throws it to the UCO sideline.
Yeah, the primary receiver he wanted to throw to was covered, and so then he looks to his secondary, and he's covered, and so he just gets rid of it. And sometimes as a quarterback, that's a very good play. When quarterbacks make a lot of mistakes, they're trying to do too much. Football's a game of give and take, and when you get a chance, you got to take it, and other times you have to lay down.
Yeah. Know when to hold them and know when to fold them, right? And that one right there was a safe bet for Van Dyne, who is in the shotgun on second down. He has a receiver in motion who takes the handoff going left to right, but really not a lot of space to run. The Broncos string him out to the sideline, maybe picks up about 4 on the play. We'll see where the official marks him down. Yeah, looks like a 4-yard gain on second down there. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 6 for Washburn. Ball is at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and a big 6 here. And important down for Washburn and for the Broncos. A big 3rd down.
And that was Chase Allen Jackman, the wide receiver, that took the little handoff as he came across from his wide receiver position on the sweep. So Van Dyne in the shotgun. Receiver goes in motion from right to left. Has DJ Bell to his right, but going to throw it. Throws to the Washburn sideline. It is caught over there on the Washburn sideline by Tylen Crochet, but it is caught 1 yard short of the first down at the 45-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and 1 for Washburn. They're going to bring on the punt team, it looks like. Well,
I think they're bringing
they only brought in, they're just making a personnel change, bringing in a little bigger set, bringing on a fullback, it looks like, and maybe going to try and power this thing forward for 1 yard.
Yeah, they did the quarterback push play, and I don't know if they're going to try that. Looks like they got a full backfield here. They're going to do a shift.
Yeah, they had Tice Brown lined up at quarterback, but now he goes in motion out to the left, and Van Dyne steps up under center. He's going to hand it off to DJ Bell, who's going to go around the right side. He's going to have the first down after a lead block there by Ty Weber, who's listed as a tight end, but was basically a fullback on that play. And the ball is going to be spotted at the 47-yard line, so first down for Washburn.
Yeah, good push by Washburn. And they're just running the football. It's nose to nose there, and they beat the Broncos that time.
Yeah, like you said, they scored pretty easily on that quarterback push sneak earlier, so kind of surprised to see that it didn't go back to that, but worked out for the Ichabods, who have another set of downs here. Broncos show blitz. Connor Johnson comes, but the ball is thrown quickly and caught across the 50 to about the 47-yard line. That's Maury Sullivan on the catch for Washburn, so they're into UCO territory once again.
Yeah, and with 3 minutes to go here in the half, time management comes really important. Washburn has 3 timeouts, so they're not in jeopardy of getting to the end zone, but you have to manage the time here.
So it'll be 2nd and 4 for the Ichabods at the UCO 47-yard line. Van Dyne is in the gun, has 1 wide receiver wide to the left, 2 to the short side of the field to the right. Fullback goes in motion to the left, and it looks a little trickery. Fake the handoff to Bell. Sullivan comes on a sweep around the left side and takes the pitch behind Van Dyne. Gets across the 40 down to about the, he fell. He started to stumble before the 40. They're going to mark him down at the 41-yard line. Now they're backing it up to the 42-yard line.
The Broncos just got too aggressive at the right defensive end position, and that's the guy that has to make the play on any type of reverse is the end man on the line of scrimmage, and he just bit on the inside run and got caught up there.
So it is a first down for Washburn here at the 42-yard line. Van Dyne has 3 wide receivers to the right. Hands off to DJ Bell around the left side, though, and he trucks one of the UCO defenders. Gets the first down and then is finally brought down by Amonte Davis of the Broncos. But DJ Bell putting the hurt on one of the UCO defenders. Bell's only 5'11", 175 freshman. But he hit the truck stick on that play.
Yeah, and we talked about the big guy, Connor Johnson, 6'3", 210 for the Broncos. It was him.
Yeah, that won't be a fun one for Connor to watch in film, but he's got a few good clips today that he can put on his highlight reel as well. So Washburn gets the first down. They are across the 30 to about the 28-yard line here. It's Van Dyne in the gun. Tice Brown goes in motion. He's going to fake the handoff to Bell and roll out to his left, and he's got all day to throw. Throws it down the field, but just really didn't have anybody and overthrows Sullivan and Tice Brown at the last minute before he was about to get sacked.
Yeah, we talked about time management. We have 1:08 left here in the first half, and they're down here at the 28-yard line, so they're in scoring position, and they can still strike. They have 3 timeouts, but they're going to have to be very careful here when they run the football and the clock keeps running.
1 wide receiver left, 2 to the right. Van Dyne's in the gun, has DJ Bell to his right. He'll take the snap and drop back, and he is going to be sacked. Big rush off the edge there for the Broncos. And that was Hudson Grant for UCO. 6'2", 190 sophomore out of Peyton, Colorado. Big play for UCO, and Washburn is forced to use that timeout.
Yeah,
one of those timeouts.
He was blindsided. Van Dyne did not see him, and did a good job putting his helmet in the middle of his body and getting him to the ground.
We'll just leave it right here during the timeout. I want to say hi to Amber and Jake Gillum, who emailed us from Shady Point, Oklahoma. They've got a daughter, Maddie, who's a student athletic trainer. And, of course, the athletic trainer is so important to the athletic programs here at the University of Central Oklahoma. And they're a part of the team, Chuck. I mean, we just had the 25th anniversary, our 25th reunion of our 1998 undefeated squad. I think you and I both had a great time reminiscing with everybody. But how many trainers were back for that thing? There were 10 or 12 athletic trainers that came back for that thing. So if you don't think that it's special to them as well, it is. These experiences here, and they mean so much to the program.
Absolutely, and your program cannot run efficiently without those people. And they do.
They don't want to do anything crazy here and turn the ball over, but they do want to try and get some points on the board. And now they're going to have a illegal substitution penalty flagged against them. So that's going to tack 5 more yards onto this, make it a 3rd and 24. At this point, Chuck, I mean, you'd really just kind of like to get in field goal range and get some points on the board probably if you're a coaching staff here for the Ichabods, but you don't want to do anything crazy that could result in a pick 6 or a turnover here.
Exactly, and they need to try to get to the 30-yard line, which would be a 12-yard gain here on this play.
3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap and drops back. Plenty of time to throw. He's going to roll to the right, and now there's going to be a holding flag thrown. He's going to complete the pass to Tice Brown, who is going to convert the first down inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, but this thing's going to come back, I believe, as there was a penalty thrown in the vicinity of a hold, and Van Dyne had a lot of time to throw that football.
Yeah, and I think they caught Andrew Funk, number 72, out of St. Charles, Missouri. 6'3", 298 senior for those guys. I think that's who they caught that time.
He's a 2-time All-MIAA selection, Chuck, so a good offensive lineman for Washburn. You probably don't become a 2-time All-Conference guy without holding once in a while, right? I'm saying that as a former offensive lineman. If you ain't doing it once in a while, you're probably not trying that hard. So, unfortunately, Funk got caught that time, and so now it is 3rd and 34. Chuck, what's in the playbook for 3rd and 34?
Well, there's not any plays, but defensively, you got to have a cushion back there, and you can give up 20 yards and still be okay. And they'll have 4 deep here. They're dropping 7, trying to throw a little quick screen out there. Broncos do a good job.
Yeah, so just a quick little screen, as Chuck said, to the right side there. It's Tylen Crochet who makes the catch, but only gets a few yards on the play. Still well short of the first down, so it's going to be a 4th down. They have 2nd down on the down marker, but that is not accurate. And a timeout on the field. We're not doing Chuck, I'm not doing a good job of clock management with these timeouts and commercial breaks, but I'm in a new seat. This is my first game as a head coach, so we'll keep it here for the timeout, and we'll look at a few scores from around the MIAA. A really interesting one going on in St. Joe, Missouri. Pittsburgh State and Missouri Western are tied at 24. That game is just about at the start of the 4th quarter. Pitt State 9-0, Missouri Western 7-2. And, Missouri Western, a team, Chuck, that I thought the Broncos should have beat this year and couldn't get it done. Pitt State undefeated, and next week's opponent. And that's one thing we haven't talked about today is that this game for the Broncos is their only chance to have a winning season. They have to win today, and then they have a really tall task to go try to upset the Gorillas, who are working on an undefeated season next week in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
and they're beatable because we're almost seeing it today. And that happens to really good teams. Undefeated teams, you have a game that you look back and say it was really close.
So Washburn going to punt this thing. Punter standing at his own 44-yard line, and a whistle is blown as the ball is snapped. So the official is saying he never indicated that they were ready for play. And so the ball was prematurely snapped. So no penalty on the play or anything like that. They're just going to reset this ball and do it again. And a whistle as the ball was snapped that time. I thought we had the same situation. The punt is going to hit inside the 5-yard line and roll into the end zone. So good field position for the Broncos as they'll get the ball at the 20-yard line to start this offensive drive. They'll only have 34 seconds, so we'll see if they try anything crazy or if they just take this thing to the halftime.
Yeah, and what you usually do here, John, is you hand the football off. If you make a big play, then yes, you call a timeout and everything. But if it's a 4 or 5 yard gain, they're just going to let the clock run out. That's the way I see this thing happening right now.
Dawson Hurl taking the field for the Broncos. He's had all but 2 snaps today for UCO. Now, they do not look like they're lined up in any sort of victory offense. They've got 2 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Jalen Cottrell is to Dawson Hurl's left, so they're going to run a play here as Hurl takes the snap, drops back to throw. He does throw, hits Madison Ridgeway out on the Washburn sideline for the first down. Going to be about a 14-yard gain on the play, and the Broncos are going to have the ball at the 34-yard line. That stops the clock, too, with 28 seconds here left in the first half.
Yeah, and if I'm guessing, if I'm a defensive coach, I guessed wrong there because I didn't think they would throw it, but I like the call now.
So now 2 right, 1 left as far as receivers go. Cottrell in the backfield. Hurl's going to throw. He's under pressure. Going to throw this thing down the field and just kind of throw it away. But Terrell Davis is on his belly in the middle of the field, and a flag was thrown right in front of where he was laying. So he may have been held or interfered with there on the play. Probably a hold against Washburn.
Yeah, he was held, and it's going to be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. So it's going to put the Broncos about midfield, I believe, with 25 seconds to go. Gives you a lot of options here.
Yeah, and now you really are in play calling mode because you want to, at the very least, maybe try to get yourself in field goal range here and have Quevedo get a chance to put 3 more points on the board. So the officials are giving instructions to the clock operator, and they're trying to reset the clock to 30 seconds, which they do. So the Broncos have 30 seconds here and a first down at their own 44-yard line. Hurl takes the shotgun snap, going to throw it, throws down the field, has Madison Ridgeway open on the UCO sideline, and he does make the catch, hauls it in at about the 37-yard line of the Ichabod. So a first down, only 6 seconds off the clock. The clock stops as Ridgeway goes out of bounds, and the Broncos will have the ball at the 37.
Yeah, great efficiency by the Broncos so far.
3 wide receivers left, 1 right. Cottrell the running back, Hurl in the gun. Lane Grantham snaps the football, and Hurl drops back under pressure, rolls to the left a little bit, and then short hops the ball to Jacob Delso. Don't know if he did. It was either a really bad throw or he put that thing in the turf on purpose. I'll tend to believe the latter.
Yeah, and it's a tough throw because he's running left. He's a right-handed thrower, and he's running toward the line of scrimmage, which even makes it more difficult.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Broncos from the 37. 19 seconds here in the first half. UCO leads 17-7. Trying to get some points before half, and the Broncos are going to get the ball to start the second half. So this is a big opportunity for UCO with 3 wide receivers left, 1 to the right, and Cottrell, the running back. Hurl's going to throw. Throws it to the middle. Delso, who comes across the middle and gets down to the 25-yard line and almost to the 20. Looks like he's going to be stopped at the 21-yard line. They'll stop the clock momentarily. The Broncos have no timeouts. 11 seconds on the clock. The ball is set. Well, now they're moving it up. Now the ball is set. They roll the clock, and Hurl's going to spike the thing with 8 seconds to go. So the Broncos in good position here to maybe run 1 play to the end zone and then kick a field goal if you're unsuccessful.
Yeah, they're going to kick a field goal is what they're going to do. They could do that, John. 8 seconds is enough time. Maybe it's too big of a gamble, but I'm going to give a lot of credit to Adam Dorrell. 34 seconds to go. And you're going to go almost the length of the field to go down and get points.
So this will be a 37-yard field goal attempt for Quevedo from the middle of the field. And Washburn is going to call a timeout to try and ice Quevedo. So we'll take it with them. UCO leads 17-7, 8 seconds left in the half here on KOKC.
your attention, please. Teresa Young.
And it looks good, and it is. The Broncos, with a nice offensive drive, they get the ball back with 34 seconds left and drive down to Washburn territory and put 3 points on the board. So it's 20-7 UCO with 5 seconds left here in the first half. We'll take a quick break. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. All right, and back from the break, UCO does a squib kick, and Washburn recovers it and runs around a little bit but gets no yardage, and the Broncos will take this thing to halftime, leading 20-7. Have a chance to do that here for the Broncos as Washburn won the toss and took the ball, and then they took it right down UCO's throat and scored and got up 7-0. So you thought, well, pretty good decision by the Ichabods. But since then, it's been all UCO, and the Broncos get the ball here to start the second half. So the kickoff is going to be taken at the 1-yard line. It's going to be returned by the Broncos, and a pretty good return out across the 30-yard line down to about the 34 for the Broncos. That's Cam Manahan on the return, the 6-foot, 165-pound freshman out of Lubbock, Texas. There is a flag on the play. There's a flag on the 35-yard line, so it's out near where the ball was returned to. It's going to be a hold against the Broncos, unfortunately, so this thing is going to get backed up. We'll see if where the foul occurred. It's going to be 10 yards from the spot of the foul, so probably going to be the Broncos' ball at about the 24-yard line. We'll let them walk this thing off and see. Well, it is the 24-yard line.
Yeah, and John, you see so many times in college football now, the return games, there's always so many penalties. I don't like all of the penalties in the return game. We're
going to talk a little bit more about that. I'm going to get your thoughts on kickoff returns here in a second. But Dawson Hurl in the shotgun. Cottrell goes in motion out of the backfield. Hurl throws it to Cottrell. Looks like a backwards pass taken at about the 19-yard line. Cottrell with some fancy footwork to get a pretty good gain for the Broncos out of a play that really didn't look like it was going to go for much. It's going to get about 6 yards out to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, I think he got 6, and it was man-made. The throw was behind the line of scrimmage, like you said, and he got everything that he fought for right there.
So 2 wide receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Trevon Woolfolk is the running back behind Hurl, who's in the shotgun. 2nd and 4 for the Broncos from the 30-yard line. Here's the snap. He's looking to the right. He throws to the right, hits Madison Ridgeway out on the UCO sideline. Looks like he's going to have the first down just past the sticks to the 35-yard line. So the Broncos with a 5-yard gain on that play as Hurl hits Ridgeway, and they get a first down.
Yeah, Hurl and Ridgeway are a good connection today. And Hurl is throwing it out there. He's putting it on a string. It's a tight spiral. Like I said earlier, it's easy to catch for the receivers. Good throw, good catch. First down for the Broncos.
2 receivers to both sides. Hurl in the shotgun. Jalen Cottrell to his left is the running back. Lane Grantham will snap the football here, and Hurl is going to pitch it to Cottrell to the left side. He gets to the 40, across the 45, out to about the 46-yard line. So a first down on that little motion pitch that Dawson Hurl throws or pitches to Cottrell. Cottrell makes, again, some nice moves and gets another first down for the Broncos.
Yeah, good block out there by wide receiver Jacob Delso.
Those guys putting in work out on the edge, which is important, especially when the play is out there on the edge, and important to keep those hands inside, which Delso does. So Broncos will have first down here. They're going to fake the handoff to Cottrell. Then they're going to throw it to Cottrell. It looked like that same play they scored the 85-yarder on earlier. This one's not going to have the same results, but it is going to be a first down for the Broncos. They get across the Washburn 40 down to about the 39-yard line. So it was that little fake handoff, which they executed appropriately this time, and then like a 4-yard pass, basically, and then Cottrell just goes to work.
Yeah, just like you said, it was executed perfectly. It didn't go for 85 yards. Went into the boundary. It was the same exact play. Good play call by the Broncos.
Yeah, they've seen something in this Washburn defense that allows that play to be successful. I mean, that one, it's hard to compare it to an 85-yard touchdown, but that play was still very successful as they get inside the Washburn 40 to the 39. So first down here as Hurl's in the gun. He's going to hand off to Woolfolk on the left side. He kind of cuts back to the middle and is able to fend off the first tackler, but then brought down after a pretty good gain there. Looks like about a 6-yard gain for Woolfolk up the middle of the field.
Yeah, not much room to run for both running backs, Cottrell and Woolfolk, and they're gaining yards. They're doing a good job there from the running back position.
It was Andre Johnson for the Ichabods that made the tackle, and so UCO has 2nd and 4 at the 33-yard line, and Hurl's going to go under center, I formation. 3 receivers to the right, though. Takes the snap and is going to hand off to Woolfolk. He's going to go off the left tackle. He gets outside, but it shakes the first defender and manages with the second effort to get the first down. It looked like Woolfolk was going to be bottled up about a yard short, but the defender couldn't hang on to Woolfolk's hips. He cuts back to the right and gets a gain on the play down to the 27-yard line, so first down for UCO.
Yeah, they ran it to the weak side of the field, so you had 3 receivers to the right, a tight end to the left. They run it into the boundary with the tight end side. Big game for the Broncos.
Now 4 wide, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Cottrell is the running back to Dawson Hurl's right, who's in the shotgun. He does the hard count thing and then looks back to the sideline. Takes the snap and hands off to Cottrell, who's going left. He cuts between 2 defenders, gets to the 20, down to the 15, and to the 10-yard line. Really some good footwork by Cottrell. A nice run, well blocked around the left side.
Yeah, give credit to the offensive line on that play, blocking down and kicking out.
Blocking down and kicking out. That's going to be the name of the, if any of those guys are musicians, that's going to be the name of their first album. Pretty good offensive lineman name right there. Ball is at the 10-yard line, so UCO has 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Hurl's in the gun. 3 receivers up to the left, 1 to the right. Cottrell's the running back behind Hurl. He's going to throw quickly to the left to Melton. A little screen play who's going to get a little gain on the play down to about the 7-yard line. So we'll call it a 3-yard gain to Darius Melton.
Yeah, what you try to do offensively, since you have 3 receivers into the boundary and you're going to run the little slip screen out there, you're counting on those receivers to block, but you're thinking the defense is going to still play to the wide side of the field, which would have been to the defense's left, and you're hoping you get them outnumbered out there, John.
Now 2 wide receivers right. Carney, the fullback, to Hurl's right, and Cottrell, the tailback. Hurl's going to roll out to the right. He's going to keep it. He's going to tuck it, get to the 5-yard line. He's going to get hit pretty good at about the 3-yard line. And so it's going to be a 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line here for the Broncos. And this is kind of a big moment for this offense as they're going to bring in Steph Brown. So, Chuck, as you said earlier, probably look for a running play here out of the Broncos as they have this 3rd and goal from the 3.
Yeah, good job by Hurl. We talked about that, pulling the ball down as a quarterback when your receivers are covered and get upfield, and that's exactly what he did that time.
2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Cottrell is to Steph Brown's left. Steph Brown's going to take the snap and fake the handoff to Cottrell, and he is going to walk in untouched right up the middle for the 3-yard touchdown for the Broncos. Steph Brown puts 6 on the board. It's 26-7 UCO.
Yeah, and a little zone read by the Broncos, and it really wasn't a zone read. It was a called quarterback keep. And defensively, if you're Washburn, you have to know Steph Brown just came in the game. He's a running quarterback. They don't bring in a running back to hand off, or they don't bring in a quarterback to hand off to the running back. So bad play by Washburn there.
And a nice drive by the Broncos to open the second half. They score a field goal right before the end of the first half, and then they get a touchdown here to start the second half. Nicky Cavedo is going to try and put the cherry on top. And he does put the PAT through, so the Broncos have opened up a 20-point lead on the visiting Ichabods, 27-7 with 8:48 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC.
Of course, when you come out in the second half, you want to set the tempo, and coaches always talk about the middle 8, John. And the middle 8, what they're talking about is the last 4 minutes of the first half and the first 4 minutes of the second half. And the Broncos did a good job at the back end of the first half, and they're doing a good job here. So the middle 8, they're doing a good job.
Grayson Miller on for the kickoff. The Broncos have 2 kickers that see action. Grayson Miller does the kickoffs, and Nicky Quevedo does the field goals and PAT. So Miller about to put a boot to it. He's had some short high kicks today, and that's going to be another one that's going to be taken at the 10-yard line by the Ichabods. And a good block there by the return team. Finally, the ball carrier is brought down as he gets past the 30, out to the 33-yard line. Chuck, that's a good return, and Washburn has had a few good returns today, but when you were coaching, a touchback was at the 20-yard line. Now you can fair catch a ball and get it at the 25. If you listen to me, anybody out there in radio land or TV land, I'm a big proponent of fair catching the kickoffs and taking it at the 25. Chuck, what are your thoughts?
Well, I kind of agree with you because it's done for safety. That's why they changed that part of the game, was for safety to the players.
Van Dyne takes the first down snap and hands off to DJ Bell around the left side, but big Hunter Largent wraps him up and brings him down at the – they kind of wrapped him up at the line of scrimmage. The legs kept driving, and it's about a 3-yard gain for Washburn. Yeah, I'm kind of a play the odds kind of person, and it just seems like most of the time when those kick returners decide to return it, they don't get it back to the 25-yard line, and you'd have been better off just fair catching it, and it's better on your body. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. Van Dyne in the shotgun. Fullback goes in motion to the right. Here's a kind of a floating snap that's handed off to DJ Bell, who gets through the first level and to the second, breaks out of a tackle by the UCO defense there. Gets the first down for Washburn, gets the ball out to the 48-yard line, so good run there by Bell.
Yeah, Bell did a good job actually spinning out of that last tackle there and picks up the first down for the Ichabods.
So 1st and 10 for Washburn at the 38-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the right. Fullback in motion. Bell, the tailback. Van Dyne takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Bell. Under a little bit of pressure, and he's going to have to throw that one away, and he takes a hit. As he does so, Noah West puts Van Dyne on the ground, but no flag. Did it in a legal fashion, and Van Dyne was just under pressure. He had to get rid of that ball.
Yeah, West did a good job. Hunter also was in there putting good pressure on the passer.
Yeah, I thought Hunter was going to get held there on that play as he broke through the line of scrimmage. I think the positive there was I don't think the offensive lineman could reach around Hunter's big body to hold him. So 2nd and 10 here for Washburn. 2 wide receivers right, 1 left. And Bell, the running back, Van Dyne is going to throw this football. He throws it out to the right, hits Tice Brown in the backfield, but a UCO defender right there on the spot. Looks like Connor Johnson to make the play. A little gain for Washburn. They get maybe a 2-yard gain. It's going to bring up about 3rd and 6.
Yeah, third and 6 here for the Ichabods. Broncos did a great job in pursuit, going sideline to sideline on that play. You're going to the wide side of the field, and you have to get bodies running to the football.
So a big 3rd down here for Washburn, who's currently not across midfield into UCO territory. It would be a big stop for the Broncos as all the receivers are bunched up close to the offensive line. Van Dyne's going to take the snap. Got a little bit of time, and now he's under some pressure. Gets out of the grasp with the first UCO defender, then is tackled down the field. It's going to depend on the spot. I don't think he's going to quite have the first down. They're going to give him the ball at the UCO 47. The first down marker is between the 46 and 47, so this is going to be a 4th and about a half yard. Down 27-7, I think you go for this.
Yeah, they're going to go for this, and when they've had success on the short goal line play and then the 4th down play, they did 2 different things. They did the quarterback push, and then they just handed it off, so we'll see what they do here.
Van Dyne in the gun with DJ Bell in the backfield with him. He's going to hand off to Bell, who's going to have the first down. He doesn't have much. He picks up about a 2-yard gain there, but he only needed about half a yard, so he gets the ball to the UCO 45, and that'll give Washburn a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, Washburn with the first down here, keeping the ball in play, keeping the clock running here. 5:50 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The Broncos like the clock running all the time.
Some personnel changes here for the UCO defense. And Washburn is going to line up with 2 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. And a new back end next to Van Dyne. I can't see a number on that, but they're going to fake the handoff. He's going to throw. It's going to bounce off a UCO defender's back, and it's going to be intercepted by Kobe Stevens. That ball hit a UCO player in the back, bounced up into the air, and Kobe Stevens comes down with the catch. A huge turnover for UCO.
Yeah, and that's one of those tip drill things, John, that it doesn't take much talent or skill to catch the ball when it pops right to you. But he makes a good play. Good play by Kobe Stevens.
Big stop for that UCO defense, and Dawson Earl's going to lead the offense out on the field. This offense has got to be feeling pretty confident. They've driven down the field several times here on Washburn, including a touchdown drive to open the second half. And this is their second attempt at an offensive possession here. So we'll see what the Broncos do with Hurl in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Trevon Woolfolk and throw it down the field. He's going to hit Jacob Delso going out of bounds. He's going to have the first down, going to be about a 12-yard gain. Ball is going to be spotted at the 47-yard line, the UCO 47-yard line for the Broncos.
Yeah, and Hurl's faking it to the strong side, the most powerful side of the offense. He's faking it that way, and he's booting it back out. And they're getting man-to-man out there, and it's a pretty good matchup for the Broncos so far.
Hurl in the gun with Carney to his left, the fullback, Trevon Woolfolk, the tailback. He's going to fake again to Woolfolk, and it looks like he's going to throw. Well, he's under a lot of trouble. Spins out of a sack attempt. Now he's going to tuck it and run it. He's going to get across the Washburn 45-yard line and slide. They're actually going to say he started the slide at the 46, so the ball will be spotted at the 46-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and 3.
Yeah, and they've changed that rule on the slide. Now they're saying it's as he starts to slide. So he got almost to the first down marker, but now it's a couple of yards short just because of the start of the slide.
So 2nd and 3 for the Broncos into Washburn territory at the 46-yard line. Hurl in the gun. Carney to his left. Trevon Woolfolk, the tailback. 1 receiver on each side. And they are going to, again, not hand off to Woolfolk. Hurl's going to roll out to the right. He's under some pressure from the Washburn defense. He's going to tuck it and run it down the sideline, easily get the first down and get out of bounds. He steps out at about the 35-yard line. So nice gain on the play by Hurl after he was under a little bit of pressure rolling out. And he managed to get the first down, get a little extra yardage, and get out of bounds.
Yeah, give credit to the Bronco coaching staff. They see something there that they keep running that boot, John, and it's opening up where it's a one-on-one situation defensively, and it also has it where you don't have a man on the quarterback, and so he can pick up some yards that way.
Hurl in the gun, flanked on each side by a running back. Cottrell to the left, Woolfolk to the right. Going to hand off to Woolfolk, who's going to cut to the middle, put a spin move on the first 2 defenders that made contact with him, but he's brought down quickly after. So short gain on the play. Looks like they're going to spot the ball at about the 32, so we'll call it a 3-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, it'll be an interesting call here by the Broncos on what they choose to do. And you're probably, John, in 4-down territory, although a field goal does a lot for you also. So they're definitely going to have to pick up some yards here on the next 2 downs.
It looks like Missouri Western has defeated Pittsburgh State 31-30, which would be a big upset here in the conference. Pitt State undefeated. It says 0 seconds left in the 4th quarter, though. It doesn't say final, so we'll keep an eye on that one, just looking at stats. Hurl in the shotgun. Woolfolk to his left. Hurl's going to throw under pressure. Going to get out of the grasp of a sack, run to the right side, and just get what he can get before he gets out of bounds. Gets it down to about the 29-yard line. So it's going to be a 3rd and about 4 situation. We have an injured Bronco on the field.
Yeah, and a good job by Hurl. He's doing a lot better job, John, as the game goes on, is pulling the football down. The passes are not open, the receivers are not open, so don't take a chance. He's pulling it down, and like on that play, he got what he could get, which was only a couple of yards maybe, but it left us with 3rd and short compared to 3rd and medium.
Yeah. So it looked like we had, trying to see who was down there, but I think he's off the field now. So they're trying to get the players back out. This is not an official timeout or an actual timeout. So they're trying to get the players out of their huddles and back out there to play. So UCO will have 3rd and about 3
Yeah, and the clock's running here, John, so it's 18 seconds to go on the play clock.
Yeah, not an actual timeout. Once the player was removed from the field, they wind that clock. So Hurl's in the shotgun, Cottrell to his left, 3 wide receivers to the left. Hurl looks to the sideline for the updated call. He'll take the snap and do the little pitch to the left to Cottrell, who's going to put a nice move on the first defender, and he's going to be very close to the first down, but he's not going to have it. It broke down very quickly after Cottrell juked the first defender, so it's going to be 4th and about 2 from the 27-yard line here.
Yeah, and I expect the Broncos to go for it here. It is 4th and 1, 1.5, maybe 2, so it's a long 4th down for them, but I think it benefits them to try to go for it here.
Everyone looking at their play cards to see what's been signaled in. 3 wide receivers to the right side. Cottrell is the running back. Hurl in the shotgun. He's going to drop back and throw. Little blitz coming. He has to get rid of it. Cottrell kind of being held by the defender that was in step with him, but nothing, no foul there, and the Broncos just had to throw that football away. Washburn brought a blitz, and Hurl was under a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, and number 42, C.J. Callahan was the guy that you're talking about, may have been involved in the hold. I think he was covered up. Just a good job by the defender that time.
So we'll give credit to Washburn for the stop there on the defensive series for the Ichabods, and they'll take over possession at their own 27-yard line. The officials are blowing their whistle like crazy, and now they are asking for a media timeout. So we will take it with them. UCO leads Washburn 27-7, a minute 19 left in the third quarter. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Both teams still in their huddle getting their last-minute instructions. And we'll see what Washburn brings to the table offensively here as they try to crawl out of a 20-point hole against the Broncos. Van Dyne, the quarterback for Washburn, is in the shotgun. 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. Empty backfield. They're going to bring a receiver in motion to the left. Bring him across the middle, but throw to a different receiver who is hit as he makes the catch. That is Maury Sullivan that made the catch for the Ichabods for about a 6-yard gain and then brought down by Grant Lohr.
Yeah, good play by him, good catch.
So 2nd and 4. Again, 5 wide, empty backfield, 2 to the right, 3 to the left. Van Dyne takes the snap and is looking down the field, and that ball is batted down by a UCO defensive lineman. I didn't see who it was. I was looking downfield for the throw, but batted down and hits the turf. So good job by the guys up front there for UCO.
Yeah, it brings up 3rd down here, 3rd and 5, John. And there's 48 seconds left in the period here. And Washburn's running out of time, and that's why you're seeing them throw the football as much as they are right now.
Yep. So 4 wide receivers, but a tight formation here with a fullback in, probably to block for Van Dyne. He takes the snap and throws over the middle of the field, and it hits the receiver right in the chest, but well defended there by the Broncos. And that was Amonte Davis on the coverage for the Broncos, who made the hit as the ball hit the receiver, and the ball is dropped, falls to the turf. So 4th and 4, and not a gambling opportunity for Washburn. They're going to punt this football.
Yeah, Monte Davis made a good play there, John. He had the receiver covered, so he chose to take a side rather than be behind the receiver, and by taking a side, he can reach and strip and knock the ball down.
Kind of a high wobbly kick. It's going to go right to the UCO sideline and immediately out of bounds at about the 36-yard line. So UCO will take over at their own 36-yard line. So a nice 3 and out for the UCO defense, and now the offense will get their chance to come out and put a drive together.
Yeah, curious to see what the Broncos and Coach Doral choose to do here offensively. If they're going to run the football to eat up some clock, or if they're going to come out and try to strike.
Well, it's Steph Brown back in the game for the Broncos, so I think by my count this is his 4th snap of the game. He's got 3 wide receivers left and 1 right, empty backfield. So Steph's going to run this thing, or we're going to see Steph Brown throw a pass. Here's the snap, and it's a designed run around the right side, following his offensive line. Pretty good run for Steph Brown, who gets out across the 45-yard line. It's going to be 2nd and 1 for the Broncos. So,
and the motion guy was Dominique Dunn, number 87 for the Broncos. So he comes in motion, and he sealed the outside edge defensive end there. He did a great job. I watched him. He kept moving his feet. A great job by Dominique.
And this will be the first time today that Steph Brown has taken the snap 2 plays in a row. 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Andrew Carney next to Steph Brown. And he is going to, again, do a design run right up the middle, kind of a delayed run, following his fullback. He's going to have a 4-yard gain, so the Broncos will have a first down, but that's also going to be the end of the third quarter. So it'll be 1st and 10 UCO when they come back for the fourth quarter. 27-7, the Broncos lead. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. And now Dawson Hurl back in the game. 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Trevon Woolfolk flanking Hurl to the left as the tailback. He's going to take the shotgun snap, and he's going to throw it. Drops back, throws it down that right sideline. Wide open is Darius Melton on the Washburn sideline down to about the 22-yard line. So nice gain for the Broncos as they see an opening there in that Washburn defense down on the right side.
Yeah, it was a cover 2 beater, so that's in between the flat player and the deep player, and it takes a good throw to complete that, John, and that was a really good one.
Yeah, Hurl put that thing right in there for Melton to complete the catch. Now I formation, 2 receivers left, 1 right. Hurl is under center. We've seen this a few times today. And he is going to hand the ball off to Woolfolk, who's going to follow his fullback around the right side. And he's going to get tripped up starting at about the 25-yard line, but he stumbles forward to about the 22-yard line. And UCO is going to have 2nd and about 2 coming up.
Yeah, a good run by the running back, Woolfolk there. We talked about chunk plays. The Broncos have more chunk plays now. They have 18, 10, 11, 9, 9. So they're beating them in the chunk play game.
3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Woolfolk behind Hurl, who's in the shotgun here on 2nd and 2. And a quick throw out to Delso, a little wide receiver screen. He's going to have the first down, across the 20 down to about the 15-yard line for the Broncos.
Toss to Jacob Delso.
Yeah, it gives the Broncos a lot of options down here in the red zone. You know, working the clock with play calling and everything. First down, it looks like they're at the 15-yard line. Broncos have a good chance to end this game here if they can get a touchdown.
Confirmed, the Missouri Western has beaten Pittsburgh State 31-30. So a huge result here in the MIAA as Pitt State was looking to go undefeated. And they now have a loss, and they're going to be angry when we come to town next week.
That's right.
to end our season.
And they're still a good football team, I'll promise you that.
Hurl in the gun with 2 running backs, but he's going to roll out to the right and throw. He throws to the end zone, and an amazing catch. Well, I think he dropped it, actually. That was it was out of bounds anyway, so sorry, I probably got people's hopes up. But Christian Romero was the intended receiver. Looked like he went up and made a great catch, but was just out of bounds. I think he didn't complete the catch anyway, so it's going to be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and Hurl didn't have a lot of options there. I think that was a very good throw, even though it's incomplete. The only person that could catch the football there was the wide receiver.
So 2nd and 10 from the 15-yard line. 2 wide receivers left, 1 right. Hurl in the shotgun. Woolfolk behind him as the tailback. Tight end on the left side is Dominique Dunn. Hurl takes the snap. He's going to hand off to Woolfolk to the left side. He's going to get outside off the tackle and get across the 10-yard line, dragging tacklers down inside the 10. Finally pushed out of bounds about the 8-yard line. They're going to call forward progress was stopped. They kept the clock wind. They gave the clock wind signal, so they're going to call forward progress stopped at the 8-yard line. So that's going to be about 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm watching Dunn, 87, the tight end. We just mentioned him earlier. He is putting on a show and blocking in the outside area there.
Hurl in the gun with Carney, the fullback to his right. Cottrell behind him, 2 wide receivers to the right are Delso and Romero. Tight end Dunn is to the left. Here's the snap, and Hurl's going to roll out to the right and throw, in a really nice defensive play there for Washburn by Caden Spencer. He gets one hand in front of the intended receiver and swats that thing down.
Yeah, Spencer, a junior from Holcomb, Kansas. What a play that was, because he was in great position. He uses the right hand to knock the pass down. Good play defensively.
Emporia State's final over Missouri Southern, 63-28. A lot of points scored by the Hornets there against Missouri Southern, and that close game between Central Missouri and Fort Hays State got blown wide open in the second half. 47-28 the final. Central Missouri beats Fort Hays. So Central Missouri and Pitt State both with one loss in the conference. Also Lincoln defeated by Nebraska Kearney 38-6.
Yeah, and Pitt beat Central Missouri by 1 point earlier in the year. You know, and the rankings and everything, regional rankings are so important in the playoff race. We may see some changes there, you know, and I've seen people talking about they don't think 2 teams will get in out of the MIAA. So if you can only pick one, do you go with the head-to-head where they beat them by 1, or who's playing better lately? How do you do that?
Well, the good news for the Broncos is that they have some say in that, in what happens. The Broncos can't make the playoffs, but they can certainly keep somebody out, and that will happen. That opportunity will come to fruition next weekend as the Broncos roll in to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and attempt to upset the Gorillas, because the Broncos certainly won't be favored. But, you know, UCO has had games this year where they've played with good teams. They played with Central Missouri for quite a while early in the season, and then had some bad luck and things got out of control a little bit. But the Broncos, with a little bit of momentum, can play with with these teams in the MIAA. And next week, Pitt State is either going to be super angry and come out aggressive, or they're going to be a little discombobulated, and maybe the Broncos can take advantage of that.
Yeah, and you talk about that. And the Broncos, they just want an opportunity. You know, you go fire your shot, you know, and see what happens.
So it's 4th down and 3. The Broncos are going to go for this rather than kick the field goal. Ball's at the 8-yard line. Hurl is in the shotgun. He's got 2 receivers right, 1 left, and Jalen Cottrell is his tailback. He's going to drop back and throw a quick pass to Dominic Dunn around the right side. He's going to catch it at the 5-yard line, and he is going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown for the Broncos. Dominic Dunn, the 6'3", 210-pound sophomore out of Mustang High School, gets 6 points for the Broncos and extends this lead to 26.
Hey, great play call. And, hey, we gave Dunn a bone. You know, he made a couple of really impressive blocks, and we give him a bone by throwing him the football, and he gets in the end zone. So kudos to him.
So Nicky Cabedo will come on to attempt a PAT and try to make this a 34-7 ball game for the Broncos against the Washburn team that, you know, really has just had a tough season. And they've had a pretty good program for quite some time, but Craig Schurig and his team have really had a tough go of it here in 2023. UCO is going to get a penalty. Is that an illegal substitution penalty?
No, they were late. The clock
delay game.
ran down,
so,
yeah. And I don't know if they called the timeout or if they got the penalty.
They did get the penalty. He said 5 yards. So to be the delay a game penalty, which will back this PAT up 5 yards, and now UCO is going to make some more personnel changes, and Quevedo will try to put this thing through from 25 yards. The snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and it looks good and is good. Nicky Quevedo with another PAT. The Broncos lead Washburn 34-7, 11:56 left in the ballgame here on Senior Day. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Broncos lead the Washburn Ichabods 34-7 after a Dawson Hurl to Dominic Dunn touchdown pass right before the break. And it's Senior Day here, so everyone is all smiles in beautiful Chad Richardson Stadium. It's hard not to smile when you're in this stadium. It's such a great landscape for a football game, Chuck. We were talking about it before the game, just all the landscaping they've done. And, I mean, if you don't have a waterfall in your stadium, do you even have a stadium? Like, it's such a unique, great setting. And the fans here that came out to this game today, certainly the UCO fans are enjoying it. Beautiful weather and 34 unanswered points for the Broncos.
Yeah, just like you said, 34 unanswered points, which is huge. And the Broncos have kind of gotten it together a little bit. You can see they have a little rhythm offensively. Defensively, they got a little tighter and not giving up big plays. I always go back to that, John, the chunk plays. Coaches harp on it, harp on it, harp on it. If you're an offensive coach, you want big chunk plays. If you're a defensive coach, you don't want those. And so that's the first thing we look at in stats is where can I eliminate the big plays?
Grayson Miller puts this kickoff 1 yard deep in the end zone, but it's going to be brought out to the 10, 15, 20. Pretty good return here, 25-30, and out to about the 37-yard line maybe by Percy Mitchell.
Zion Bell on the tackle for the Broncos.
Yeah, good return by Mitchell there as he took it on the right side of the field and went left and had enough speed to get to the corner.
So they spot this thing at the 36. So, you know, we were talking earlier about philosophies on fair catching kickoffs. Washburn really has had a pretty good day returning the ball. They've had good field position on most of their kickoff returns. So Van Dyne will come out and take the lead at quarterback. He's in the gun. Two wide receivers to his right. Fullback goes in motion to the left, and he hands off to a new running back there in the backfield who's going to be brought down by Reed Lindsay for a pretty good loss in the backfield. It's Connor Searcy, the 6'1", 220-pound junior out of Tonganoxie, Kansas.
Yeah, Reed Lindsay came underneath the block. We talk about that. When you get a running back running to the sideline and your defensive linemen come under the block, they have a great chance to make a big play.
So it's going to be second and about 12 here for the Ichabods from the 20 or the 34-yard line. Van Dyne takes the snap and hands off again to Searcy, who's going to try to go right up the middle, but he's going to meet a wall of Bronco defenders. He's going to get a little gain on the play out to maybe the 37-yard line, so we'll call it 3rd and 9 here coming up for Washburn.
Yeah, and what you don't want offensively if you're Washburn, you don't want to put yourself in these situations where it's 3rd and 9 and you got to make a big play. You didn't make the plays on the first two downs, so they're behind the chains right now.
And Washburn with two running back just dive plays basically. Doesn't look like they're trying too hard to get back into this ball game. Maybe they're running a little clock too. Van Dyne's going to take the snap and throw it. He throws it deep, and it's going to be intercepted by the Broncos. Easy interception. It was a very poorly thrown ball. It's returned to the 20, down to the 15, down to the 10-5, and he tiptoed the sidelines. They're going to call him out of bounds, though. Thought that the ball carrier, that's Jonathan Mosley, that got the interception for the Broncos. They're going to say he stepped out at about the 7-yard line, so a huge return for UCO and just a really unfortunate throw for Van Dyne.
Yeah, and we've talked about all day about Van Dyne throwing the passes, and he's doing a good job. That was just a poor pass, poor execution. Mosley's in the right place at the right time, and he caught the ball. I've seen so many times that a defensive back is in position, and they'll drop an easy catch like that, but credit to him for catching.
A little different lineup in the game now. Lane Grantham has moved over to right guard, and we have a new center in the game for the Broncos. That is Walker Peck, 6'2", 320, sophomore out of Norman. Steph Brown's going to keep the ball and try to run it himself after a little zone read with running back Peyton Scott. He's going to get down to about the 5-yard line.
Yeah, we talk about all the time, zone read, zone read, zone read. Well, the quarterback that time, Brown, he's reading that he needs to keep it. So the running back wanted it, and the quarterback wanted it, and, of course, Steph Brown's bigger, and he took it away from him.
Brown's going to empty backfield, two wide receivers to each side. One of those receivers is running back Peyton Scott, who's split out to the left. Tight end to the right for the Broncos. We'll see if Steph keeps this thing on a design run on 2nd and goal from the 5-yard line. And he does. He's going to sweep around to the right side, find a little bit of opening. He's going to dart through, and I think he's in, and he is. 5-yard touchdown for Steph Brown here on Senior Day. And the Broncos have really blown this thing open here in the fourth quarter, currently leading 40-7 with 9:35 left.
Yeah, waiting on an extra point here that can make it 41-7. Like you said, John, a little over 9 minutes to go in the game, and the Broncos are having their way with Washburn right now. And I know it's a tough thing for them right now. They're 1-8. I think they've lost 7 games in a row, so tough day for them.
Alvedo on for the PAT. Hold is down, the kick is up, and it looks good on the deck of the Sports Performance Center. The Bronco fans chase that ball down. Unfortunately, they don't get to keep it. Not a souvenir. Got to throw that thing back down. But the Broncos lead 41-7 against Washburn here on Senior Day. 9:35 remaining in the game. You're listening to UCO football on KOKC. Broncos, and that last one was a big one for Jonathan Mosley, who almost takes it back into the end zone, steps out of bounds at the 8-yard line, but the UCO offense comes in, and a couple plays later, Steph Brown puts the ball in the end zone for UCO. 41-7, they lead the Washburn Ichabods. 9 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the game, and Chuck, the Broncos are going to even their record up today, which is good at 5-5, and then an opportunity for a winning season next week in Pittsburgh, Kansas. But Pittsburgh, Kansas is 1 point away from being undefeated. They're 9-1 after today's loss to Missouri Western. Not going to be a friendly environment for the Broncos next week in Pittsburgh.
No, and Pittsburgh's always a tough place to play, and exceptionally when they have a good football team. Their fans will be there. It'll be a tough place to play.
Squib kick by Grayson Miller for the Broncos that's taken by one of the upbacks for Washburn. That looks like Lucas Oitker, 6 foot 210, redshirt freshman fullback out of Kansas City. He gets a little return on the squib kick. They're going to mark it down at the 38-yard line, the Washburn 38-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Ichabods. And Van Dyne still the quarterback for Washburn. 1 receiver left, 2 right, and Connor Searcy, the running back. They fake the handoff to him, and I think Van Dyne wishes he would have handed that thing off because UCO was in the backfield almost immediately. That was Johnny Wilson that came through and made the sack for the Broncos, the 6'3", 255-pound junior out of Kansas City, Iowa State transfer. Johnny Wilson comes through and gets a sack for the Broncos.
Yeah, Johnny Wilson looked impressive on that play.
So 2nd and about 15 for the Ichabods, who have 2 to the right, 1 to the left receivers. Connor Searcy in the backfield. They fake the handoff again and throw it over the middle. It's complete this time to the tight end, Ty Weber, for a short gain out to about the 41-yard line. So it's going to be 2nd and about 7 for the, 3rd and 7 for the Ichabods.
Yeah, 3rd and 7 here, and obviously they're going to have to throw the football. They've been trying to run curl routes in the middle of the field with the tight end and the running back, so we'll see what they try to do this time.
We haven't seen DJ Bell in the backfield for the Ichabods for quite some time. They've moved to Connor Searcy, a bigger kind of fullback type running back. Van Dyne takes the shotgun snap under a little bit of pressure, throws deep, has a man, he catches the football, but he's out of bounds. That was Maury Sullivan, who goes up and makes a nice kind of high point catch on the UCO sideline, but unfortunately he drifts out of bounds making that catch and is unable to bring it in.
Yeah, Sullivan with a really impressive play, and the ball's just a little bit outside, and he goes up over the DB and makes the play. So 4th down, and they're going to punt the ball away to the Broncos.
Yeah, we're just in a run out the clock situation here in Edmond. It looks like, and Washburn brings on the punt team. Kobe Stevens is going to stand deep at about his 16-yard line. The ball is a high spiral kick towards the UCO sideline. It's going to hit out of bounds, so we'll see where the official marks it as officially crossing the boundary as he runs up to about the 20-yard line. So UCO will take over at the 20, and we'll see if we get even more reserves in the game, and it looks like that's the case. It looks like a whole new offensive line. Steph Brown in the game at quarterback, Peyton Scott at tailback. But, yeah, a whole new unit up front there for the Broncos.
And that's what the coaches need to do. We need to get guys in to get them experience and give those guys a chance that have been practicing hard and let them get in the game.
Steph Brown takes the snap as music starts to play in the stadium here, which is clearly not by design. Peyton Scott takes the ball around the right side and gets a pretty good gain on the play, about 8 or 9 yards, bring up 2nd down.
Yeah, 2nd and 1 here for the Broncos. They're on the right hash, so they have been running into the boundary, John, a lot today, and that's by design, I'm sure. So we'll see what they do here.
Brown in the shotgun, Peyton Scott. Quite a contrast between Brown and Scott. We'll elaborate on that in a moment as Steph Brown keeps it around the right side, gets the first down, and then some. It's up a pretty good gain there, about 7 yards. It's going to be first down for the Broncos at the 36-yard line. Steph Brown's about 6'5", 6'6". Peyton Scott is listed at 5'5". So you don't see that contrast too much in college football, but when they're standing next to each other in the backfield, it kind of looks like that old Manute Bull, Muggsy Bogues poster back from the old Washington Bullets days. That's a deep reference if you're old enough to have remembered that one. Brown in the shotgun. He's going to flip it to a receiver that comes in motion from the left side. A little sweep play, or comes from the right side back to the left. Going to get a pretty good gain out to about the 42-yard line, and that is Kavion Williams carrying the ball for the Broncos, 6', 170 sophomore out of Oklahoma City.
Yeah, the Broncos doing a good job here. Second down, and we talked about this earlier, John. 2nd and 4, that's an easy play call. Now the Broncos are trying to control the game here in the clock, so look for short passes or just plain runs.
Brown in the gun, 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. Tight end goes in motion to the left, and Brown's going to keep it around the left side. He cuts off the block of his left tackle. Gets a pretty nice gain. Another first down for the Broncos as he crosses into Washburn territory. Ball's going to be marked at about the 48-yard line. So UCO will have first down in Washburn territory, and like you said, that clock continues to run. 5:55 remaining in the game. The Broncos, of course, up 41-7. So, they'd like to drive this thing down, and if they put it in the end zone, they put it in the end zone. It's up to Washburn to stop them, but they're not doing anything too crazy from a play calling perspective. Brown does throw a short pass out to Christian Romero, who picks up a gain and then does go out of bounds. Of course, with the new rule, that'll just stop the clock momentarily. And the Broncos will have 2nd and about 7 here coming up.
Yeah, John, we've talked about it before, but Steph Brown, you said how big he is, 6'6", 6'5". He's tough to tackle. I mean, you can design a quarterback run game, and he's tough to tackle.
Empty backfield, 3 right, 1 left. It's either going to be a wide receiver screen to the right or Steph's going to run it, and he does run it. He's really just kind of running around. And look at that. He breaks out of the grasp of the defense. It looked like he was kind of dead to rights there at the line of scrimmage. He ends up picking up a first down and taking himself out of bounds.
Yeah, we just said it. He's tough to tackle, and especially when he gets in the open field, and he's a big guy and he's a strong guy. He runs with that forward lean, John, that you want all running backs to do, and here he is a quarterback.
Hopefully most of you are watching on the stream and not listening on the radio, because look at that isn't a very good descriptor of what happened. But Steph Brown really got himself out of trouble there and got the first down. The Broncos have the football at the 37-yard line. Brown takes the shotgun snap, little quick pass out into the flat, and the Broncos are going to have another short gain there. That pass went to C.J. Williams, 6', 185 freshman out of Sulphur Springs, Texas.
Yeah, we're getting receivers in the game, and you get to throw them the football.
Yeah, these are the kind of games. I mean, you'd like to have more of these games during the season where you can get guys experience, but this league is just it's awfully tough to win a game by 34 points, especially against a quality program like Washburn. So the Broncos are going to take advantage of this and give guys opportunities to get in and catch footballs and run and block. Steph Brown's going to take this snap and go around the right side and do a little bit of footwork to get a small gain. It's going to bring up a 4th and about 2, so he's not going to get the first down. No, it's 3rd and 2. They adjusted the down marker pretty quick there on me. 3rd and 2 for the Broncos.
Yeah, and you have 40 seconds possible in between plays, and the Broncos are going to try to use the clock on every play that they keep inbounds where you don't have an incomplete pass or something. So look for them to use the full 40 seconds every time. Yeah,
you're not going to see any timeouts out of Washburn in this game, so Broncos may get it to a certain point and just kneel on it as Steph Brown is under center this time with Peyton Scott behind him. Hands off to Scott around the right side. The little running back jumps over the offensive line and gets the first down, but there is a flag from the center judge. So a lot of times these flags are chop blocks from that. Yeah, that angle. The angle that official has on it is from behind, so it's kind of hard to see a hold from that angle because the offensive lineman is usually covering up his hands. but it's pretty easy to see when somebody goes high and somebody goes low, and that's exactly what happened. So big penalty for the Broncos is going to back them up.
Yeah, and you know, it's third and extra long now, so you have an opportunity. You could throw the football. You can also throw a screen pass. You could do that kind of passing game, or you can run the football and just try to get out of here.
Yep. Might see a quarterback draw, right, out of Steph Brown. Nobody's afraid to let him run the football on this coaching staff. But 3 wide receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Peyton Scott is the running back. Steph Brown is going to throw the football, and now he's going to take off and run. The middle of the field opens up quite a bit. He's going to try to avoid an official there, and doesn't quite get what the Broncos need for the first down. Gets it back across the 35 to the 34-yard line. So it's going to be about 4th and 7 for UCO coming up. And, you know, you might just be in a situation here where you run this football and try to get it. And if you turn it back over, no big deal. But you're not going to punt it. You're not in field goal range. So,
right. And if you get the first down, you're going to take a knee and end the game here. So
Brown is in the shotgun. And he's going to throw here on 4th and 7. He does throw right over the middle. And he has a receiver at the 19-yard line. That is Peyton Hunt, wide receiver out of Lawton, Oklahoma, 5'9", 165. So that's the first down that is going to ice this thing. Not that it wasn't iced already, but the Broncos can kneel on this thing as long as Washburn doesn't decide to get, you know, too jumpy and call timeouts. This ball game is going to end. UCO is not lining up in the victory, though. They are in an empty backfield set with 3 wide receivers left and 1 right. So I would expect Steph to kneel on this or run it, but we'll see what they do. Steph is going to run it around the left side, and he doesn't look like he's running too terribly hard. Kind of surprised he didn't just kneel right there like he took on the tackle. I think that's kind of a unnecessary risk at this point in the game, right? Just take the knee and get out of there.
Yeah, and I thought that's what he was going to do because he didn't have a running lane to go there, and he just running some clock off there. So.
Well, and he didn't look like he was running hard. He looked like he was doing the, hey, run around for a minute and then take a knee, but he never took that knee. Now the Broncos are going to get in victory here and kneel on this ball. So UCO is going to come out with the senior day victory, and it's going to be a final score of 41-7, which is a great result for the Broncos here after a game last week where they really got it taken to them by Fort Hays State and just had a tough outing in Hays, Kansas. So
yeah, good bounce back.
So this is going to even the Broncos' record up at 5-5 on the season, and they'll have an opportunity to run it to 6-5. And man, what a 6-5 finish that would be if they could go to Pittsburgh, Kansas, and get the upset. But it's nice to go into the final week of practice with a little bit of confidence, a little pep in your step, getting ready to go try and shock the conference. That's exactly what UCO is going to do. But kudos to the Broncos for picking up that 5th win of the season here today against Washburn and defending their home turf on Senior Day.
You bet. Very impressive by the Broncos. 41-7 final.